Okay, hello, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another broadcast, a special one for that matter. This is the countdown to the biggest event that will happen in Abuja this year, the 2021 Africa Leadership and Philanthropy Awards. And today, by the way, all the way from the United States of America, we have one of the nominated awardees, a great man, a great philanthropist, a humanitarian par excellence. Um, Please, sir, welcome to the Afrileap broadcast, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So kindly go ahead and introduce yourself to us. Tell us about your educational background and then your professional background, sir.
All right. My name is Daniel OCHU. I am the executive director of DOCARE Foundation, and I'm also the chief medical director of Doctors on Call US. I am a medical doctor, and I'm also a global health consultant, and I'm also an entrepreneur. Yes, talking about my educational background. Of course, I'm a medical doctor, and I studied medicine and surgery. I studied in Nigeria and the United States of America. Thank you so much.
Okay, okay, Doc. Uh, okay, sorry, that was very sharp. Okay, so you are the lead director of Do Care Foundation. Please tell us about your organization and what you do basically, sir.
Awesome. DoCare Foundation is a 501c non-profit organization whose sole purpose is to end homelessness, hunger, and alleviate poverty globally. And what we do basically is to try to see how we can end hunger. In fact, zero hunger, globally, because hunger crisis has been a disturbing one. In fact, as a public health consultant, we declare hunger crisis as a public health emergency. It is an emergency in the sense that you will not see hunger crisis where it is being televised or announced or carried out in the news that it has been killing people. But because he does not kill a rich man, that is the reason why you cannot hear that hunger crisis has killed 1.1 million people somewhere else. But in the issue of other cases, you will hear that because it's involving a rich man, you hear the news, people talking about it every day. This is the reason why DoCare Foundation said, no, we're going to be in line with the Sustainable Development Goal 2 to make sure we end hunger globally. Then let me shock you a little. Do you know that as of hunger, when you talk about hunger, globally, we have 1.1 billion people that are hungry. And I'm glad to tell you today that from 1.1 billion people that are hungry, we have drastically reduced the number to 690 million. Oh,
Wow.
yes. Oh, yes. 690 million people currently what we have that are hungry, and they will have a target. Here is the deal. By 2030, we are hoping to zone it to make sure we reach everybody. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Doctor. Thank you for what you are doing and what your organization is doing. We are very proud of you, sir. And then, as an active player in humanitarian services, and with the insight you have about the plight of the less privileged in the society, what do you think is the best approach towards creating a sustainable future for them, especially in Nigeria and Africa at large?
Oh, thank you for that good question. Let me travel from here to Nigeria. Let me take Nigeria as a case study right now. I think avert poverty and also to zero hunger. But there's a need to sustain that the impact we have already created. And I think the best way to sustain this impact to make sure we utilize the available resources we have created out there, measure who the people, excuse me, who are supposed to, the key players, session here and there to look into the hunger crisis, to make sure hold them accountable. Because accountability, transparency, these are the watchword of a humanitarian service. So I think the best thing we can do is to make sure we check mark, like in epidemiology. That's what we call 7 keys of epidemiology. You have to check mark what is happening. Make sure someone is monitoring, evaluating, and getting records. Reporting back to the authority. That will let us know that things are going in an appropriate way and the sustainability will be there. Thank you so much.
Okay, Doc, let me also ask one question. The issue of the elderly, the older persons in our society, has become a very big challenge. And these are issues that we cannot live without. They live with us every day. And if you live in the US, and also comparing to our own country where you are a citizen, as it were. Tell us, what is the best approach to handling, or from your experience there, what is the best approach to handling the issue of the older persons in our society?
Well, I'm not expecting this question, but I think it's a good one, to answer. I'm talking about the elderly person, or elderly persons, I think the way it's being managed in the United States of America here is quite different, and it's something you have to emulate, First of all, when you're above 65 years, when you retire, regarded as a kind of a senior citizen, you'll be addressed as a senior citizen. For those who have been those who are civil servants who have been in government work, their pension is not a problem, because by the time you retire, their pension has already been calculated, and you know what you're expected to get. That is not applicable in Nigeria, from my understanding. And you see, like today, I have about more than 52 people that I know that are retired, but they're in the pension in Africa, in Nigeria especially, and they are under my monthly salary as I'm talking to you.
Wow.
Because so many stories you will hear from them, you will start crying. I'm a person that I respect so much. I respect elderly people so much. And I think Nigeria, something has to be done, because the way they treat elderly persons in Africa is not good. What is obtainable in the Western world, they respect them so much because they have contributed to the country, but it's not obtainable in Nigeria. I think governments have to look into this. I think the resources out there that should be put out there for them to benefit from, where they can get information. I think one, have to after retirement or whatever, they should create a kind of an avenue where they can impact their lives, give them more information, and make sure that, because in America they have what is called I think it should be Medicare, where they receive free treatment, because government pay for them, from the source, but it's not obtainable in Nigeria. Well, I don't want to go into that, because today will not be enough to discuss about the way we can handle this situation. I think it should be a discussion for another day. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Okay, Doc, we have been following you for over a time, and knowing fully well what your organization is doing and what you are doing in your individual capacity in affecting lives, especially those of us in Nigeria and somewhere else. And it has been amazing. Honestly, you are one of the persons we have so much respect for what God put in your heart to do, because over time you always mention is God, and that's one thing has become a kind of cliche for you. But what I want to ask you, sir, is the issue of funding as an organization. How do you raise money to fund some of these your projects?
Well, that's a big question. But as a executive director of a non-profit organization, you have to be very honest, when you're on live, Actually, funding is actually a challenge to some of nonprofits out there, especially small nonprofit organizations. But let me tell you one thing: if you know what you're doing, when people see transparency in what you're doing, funds will come. We sometimes we carry out a project by ourselves, from personal pulse, but not that we have not been getting funds, And I would like to use this medium to thank people like Google. Google you have been using to browse. Google has recognized DOCARE Foundation, and they have donated to us in kind.
Wow.
Right. That was the time their donation in kind was up to $10,000. And I also like to thank Amazon. Amazon right now, Amazon is one of the highest e-commerce out there globally. They have recognized us as hunger ambassadors. If you go to Amazon and type DOCARE Foundation, Amazon Smart, type DOCARE Foundation, you will see us there. When you make a purchase, they give us 0.5% of purchase you make from Amazon. Likewise, Walmart. Walmart is the highest grocery store in the United States of America. If you go to Walmart store right now to purchase, once you mention DOCARE Foundation, there's a feature, an avenue for you to donate to DOCARE Foundation for us to be fighting hunger.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so because we are transparent, and we always every year you're expected to publish the grant you have received, the fund you have received openly. You have to make it openly because DOCARE Foundation is an public organization, So that is the reason why people have to fund you, because they're transparent, And though last year was a little bit challenged because of the pandemic, we understand that. Okay, some of the projects we carried out, we have to do that from our personal pocket, So challenge is a difficult one because the recent project we have right now is to build shelter for all the homeless people, and we have been battling with funds, to see that we, to complete the project. So, I'm not saying it's a challenge, but with God Almighty, everything is possible.
Amen. Thank you so much. And so, bear in mind, sir, that you live in the United States, and you see how the government go about catering for the less privileged. What would be your advice to the Nigerian government, in fact, the African leaders and individuals as regard this set of people in our society?
All right, this is a very good question coming by this time, Last time I checked, because I'm free for Africa, the way things are going, Honestly, whenever I look at what's going on in Africa, I feel like to start shedding tears, According to National Bureau of Statistics of Nigeria, we just say that 40% of Nigerians live in poverty, below poverty rate. And when you say 40%, we're talking about like 83 million Nigerians. How many are we?
Wow.
We are 200 million people in Nigeria. If 83 people are living in abject poverty, when I mean poverty, abject poverty, that goes a long way to tell you that there's a problem, There's a problem, And from our own statistics, when I look at it, it that means by 2022, okay, they are going to increase to up to 90 million, in fact 100 million with what is going on right now, the crisis that's going on right now in the country, food insecurity, insecurity, hunger, healthcare problem, a lot of issues. Farmers don't go to farm again because of the crisis, global crisis. I call it global crisis because insecurity is something that everybody have to look into, So I will suggest that we have to go back to the drawing board, to look into that. And I will also call on the Minister of Women Affairs, the Mrs. Talin, because last time I sent a letter to her so I can have a roundtable discussion to see how we can come in. DOCARE Foundation can step in to help, And also to see how we can hold them accountable. Because it's not as if there's no fund to take care of this in Nigeria. There is a lot of funds to take care of the this issue, take care of the orphans, homeless people, take care of people who are suffering. But where is the fund going to? It will end up in one person's pocket, which is the reason why I'm talking about accountability is very, very important. Last time I learned that 8 million naira is being spent daily to take care of the students in Enugu and other states. And the 8 million naira, I mean, in the states where I live in US, I don't think we spend such amount of money on daily to take care of such people. How much more in Nigeria to spend 8 million naira to take care of people, you know?
What are they eating?
I don't know. So you see why I keep lamenting on accountability, you know. I feel the resources are there. If people can utilize the resources, you know, and at the same time be transparent in whatever we're doing, and knowing full well that these people, the condition they are right now is not their fault, you know, it's not their fault, you know. We'll see how can they alleviate the situation, you know, salvage the situation and alleviate poverty. Thank you.
Wow. That's a very good thought too, sir. Okay, amazingly, sir, you have been nominated for this prestigious African Leadership and Philanthropy Award. As a humanitarian and someone who has been involved in impacting lives, how does this make you feel, sir?
Oh, thank you so much. Well, when the letter came to me, I was very, very happy, you know, when I read the letter. And what I did was to investigate about where the award is coming from, you know, because fortunately, let me say, fortunately, 4 letters came for award from different organizations, you know. I decided to go for this one, you know, because I need to know where the award is coming from and the reason why you give me an award, you know. What we're doing basically is what God sent us to do in this life, because I tell people 2 things. The best moment in a man's life is the day you were born. The second one is to discover your mission on earth. When you discover your mission, you'll be a very happy man and you'll die as a happy man. I was actually happy when the letter came, you know, and I also want to thank everybody that nominated me for the award. I'm very, very happy, and honestly, is a push, you know, for me to, you know, keep doing what I'm doing. Keep doing what I'm doing. In fact, to do more. I will appreciate it so much.
Wow. Okay, so there's a big issue in Nigeria. In fact, it's a global issue. The issue of prostitution. And we have a lot of young girls on the street. We have boys in the north. We have what we call the Amajiris, and in Lagos, in the southwest, we have what we call the Abros, the street boys, the street urchins. And basically, the Seed Foundation and Sunset Africa is collaborating to take about 30,000 of these people out of the streets. And based on your experience and then being a humanitarian and what you've been doing, so what do you think is the best approach to solving this problem, to nip this problem in the bud?
Awesome. Man, this is a huge one. First of all, I have to say, I have to thank Seed Foundation and Sun City. You know, it's not easy. You know, especially talking about the huge number, like 30,000 urchins, prostitutes, and the Amajiris, yes. Honestly, it's a huge one, and the facts count me in on it, because this is a good project. I would like to partake in this project, you know. And one thing I would advise is that is not. I know Seed Foundation is doing very, very well. I've seen what they have done, and I've seen their page. They are doing a lot in Nigeria. I know I've seen, because sometimes on my own I do support like local non-profits in Nigeria, because when I look at them and see what they're doing, I'll follow them for a while. I'll start supporting. you know. I think it's not about taking them out from the streets. You know, we at the end of the day we have to, you know, establish them. Skill acquisition is very, very important because if you take them off the streets and, you know, if you don't establish them, they will still go back to the streets.
Exactly.
I know a lot of some of the other organizations that have worked on that, but the people end up going back to what they're doing. So the advice I would give is let's think of how to, you know, empower them, you know, and at the same time, like I said, skill acquisition is very important. You know, they have to have tangible thing they will be doing, you know, in order not to go back to their old to their sin again, you know, because they're coming to repent, they're coming to give their life to Christ. At the same time, let's make sure they give their life to Christ, you know, and also, if possible, I think we have to involve other. We have to make it open for others who would like to come in to, you know, to be part of this project. It's a very big project. I don't know if you know about that.
Yes,
it's a very big project. We have to try and see how can, you know, this talent hunt, you know, try to find out what they are gifted or what they are good, you know, what they are good with, the skills, you know. If it's to train them in aspect of maybe computer stuff, you know, or send them back to school, or empower them with some amount of money so they can start business on their own. I think this is a good one. I would like to be part of this, please. It's a good one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you. We are very touched by that promise, because you're a man of your word. We know that for sure. And but as God has helped us, there's one organization from Germany, they're already in Nigeria. One other one from UK, and we are having they're already collaborating with us, you know, promising. Okay, the German company is already established in Nigeria, so they are providing free skill acquisition to all of our candidates, and it's free of charge, whatever area the individual want to venture into, either carpentry, hairdressing, makeup, acting, videography, graphic design, whatever. They have and people already engaged. And as I'm talking to you, we have over 16 clusters already existing in different states, with different states. Because this is very simple. If we can get 50 people per local government, times 50 people times 50 people times 774 local government we have in Nigeria, we have more than 30,000 people. I can assure you that. I can assure you that. So that's we've been able to break it down to that level, to ward level, where we know how many people we can pick from a ward and we achieve our targets, sir. Okay, well, since we are talking about collaboration, sir, what is the best way you think that NGOs and organizations can collaborate to achieve? Because if you look at everything everybody is doing, it's actually designed for one purpose. So how best can NGOs collaborate to achieve this success of helping the less privileged in our society?
Wow, this is a good question indeed. You know, like let me take for instance, let me use DOCARE Foundation as an example. When we came up, I called all the non-profits working in the same mission with us. You know, I say, here is the deal. One person or one organization cannot end this, cannot achieve this.
It's true.
Everybody has to put hands together to see how we can, you know, achieve this mission. And they're listening to me, and we collaborate. You know, we solve problems together. As I'm talking to you right now, even the state, the government refer cases to us, to DOCARE Foundation.
Wow.
Oh yes. Several times they send people to us for shelter, you know, and we don't disappoint, you know. So if all the non-profit organizations can come together, you know, because we have one mission, only one mission. If we can come together, the one mission is for the betterment of the
society,
the underserved communities, you know, the urchins, you know, So if we can come together, and another thing I'd like to talk about is transparency, because in Nigeria, the way they practice non-profit NGO is different from the way we practice. Yeah, oh yes.
It's true.
Someone wake up one day and say, Aboki Foundation, Ekwekwe Foundation. The person will just go and register, And if you check very well, the person does not have a job. Now the person will be hoping on the foundation to feed himself or herself, which is not good. Just like in the States here, when you register a foundation, you have to obtain what is called 501c. 501c is what that will make it to be tax exempt. That will help people to donate, because when people donate to you, at the end of each year, when they are filing their tax, they will find the amount they donated to you, so the government can give them back. So it helps people to donate. They don't have no choice. They have to donate, because they will actually get the money back during the filing of tax. And if they donate to you, you don't report to government during when you will be filing, or you don't make it open, you might end up going to jail. Oh yes, $1 can make you go to jail here. This is the reason why we are very careful, So if Nigerian NGOs or non-profits, will be transparent and they,
accountable,
and we are going to. Collaboration is not a problem. If someone gives you money, make sure you account for it and what the money is used for. Not for your personal. The money they give it for your non-profit organization is not for your personal need. It's personal money for you to solve your problem. Okay, I think collaboration will be very, very good. It will be very, very good, because it will help us to solve a lot. It will help us. Just like right now, this is 2021, right? We have only 9 years left for us to zero hunger globally. 9 years left. How do we achieve this? And we still have 690 million people that are hungry globally. It's not when we come together.
It's true.
We collaborate, we achieve it faster than expected time. Okay, so I'm open. DOCARE Foundation is very open to collaborate with any local or foreign or international, non-governmental organization. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Wow, Doc, it's been very wonderful speaking with you for over 30 minutes now. And I'm sure everyone listening to us has been well enriched and blessed. Okay, my last word for you question is, what's your advice to every other person listening to you, people who are doing what you are doing or who want to do what you are doing in our society?
My candid advice is that we are born with a mission. Everybody there's a way, there's something God deposited in you. If only can hearken to the voice of God, discover your mission. It must not be rich to help somebody. And I've never seen a man who has become poor by giving or by helping. I've never seen my life before. It's just like where you ask somebody to go and donate blood in the hospital. When you donate blood, fresh blood will come in. You build up fresh cells and fresh blood in you. Likewise, when you help somebody, you're giving a room for more blessing. And remember, don't give because you want God to bless you. Give because you are blessed already. So I would advise people to, please look around you every day. Make sure you touch someone's life. Make sure you touch someone's life. No matter what is the issue, no matter what is the case, people have a lot they are going through in this life. People have a lot they're going through. Unless they will tell you, this is what I'm passing through. That's where you believe that people has a lot. Please be kind to people. If you don't have money to help, tell them nice words. Even in your working place, in your neighborhood, even where you're living. You can wake up one day, go to your neighbor's house, say, hey, I'm just coming back from work, or where I decided to buy this for you. Please manage this. What is not about the amount of what you bought, but the impact you have created is uncountable. even where you're living, even your working place, it can maybe decide to call up on your colleague, so hey, can you join me for a lunch now? I'm going for a lunch. You can buy them a lunch. This is little way it can help humanity, And God in heaven, He sees everything. He knows what we're doing, So my little advice is for us to be a giver. Don't just wait to receive. Always give. Give, and give. Give, and give. Please. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, I'm tempted to ask this last question because while you are talking, you mentioned God like 4 times or 5.
Right.
Please tell me, what is the place of God? What's the God factor in all this? Where is the place of God in all this?
All right. It's a good question, because so many people have been asking me that question, But I think it's a long one. But let me summarize it because the question of we'll have to discuss next time. But in summary, let me just tell you. Honestly, I love God so much, and when you talk about Christianity is not about, when you go to the pulpit to preach or being a man of God. We are all men of God. We are all men of God. It's not about when someone, when you go to the pulpit to preach with the word of God. It's when you are doing what God says. I know my mom said, when I was growing up, she said, hey, she called my native name, which is Ogechukwu, said, I sacrifice you to God,
Wow.
Because I don't know if you have time. Do you have enough time? Because the
Go ahead.
Okay, awesome. Well, when my mom conceived me, she carried me up to a year, and almost 12 months, and she conceived me as an ectopic pregnancy.
Wow.
Ectopic pregnancy. I formed outside the womb, And ectopic pregnancy, you cannot carry it more than 3 months.
Wow.
If you have a doctor friend or OBGYN, you can ask them. In fact, it's rare to see someone with a ectopic pregnancy to pass the first trimester, because if you don't, when you start disturbing you have to go and board the baby. Okay, let me stop for here. At the end of the day, she said, she sacrificed me, to God, because she told God, if she can carry this baby, to term and all that I'm going to serve God. I know when I was 16 years, she went to buy this theological form. I think she bought it that time was around either 120 naira or something. I can't remember. She went to theological school. I said, Mom, no, I have to go to medical school. There's a way I want to serve God. I mustn't go to theological school to answer a pastor for me to serve God. I'm going to serve God in a different way, in my own way, So that's why every time you see me, I talk about God, because what I'm doing is the work of God. I mustn't carry Bible for you to know that I'm doing the work of God. Okay? So that is the reason why people will say, why every time you talk about God, say, yes, I'm doing the work of God, So in some way, this is the reason why you always hear God from my mouth every time.
Wow. Doctor, thank you so much for this moment. Thank you for your insights. Thank you. I'm really impressed by some of the things you shared with us today. And thank you also to all of our listeners. We have come to the end of this broadcast today. And I'm sure you are inspired like I am. I am really inspired and I'm blessed to have spoken with Doc. Doctor, thank you. And we expect you in Nigeria.
Sure. I'm going to
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. See you next time. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.